right, I hope you got your specs and your goggles, because we're actually going to crack open this Godzilla Omnibus. Oh, and for those of you that are getting, extra bougie, basically, looking at my surroundings and the environment and saying, leaping lizards, he's using his bed to showcase and analyze, examine this item of value. Okay, let's dial it back, okay? I use my bed to showcase your aunt, okay? And she doesn't complain about it. Golly gee willikers. Okay, let's move on to the analysis here. Once we remove the sleeve, we're introduced to a hard surface with a black, green, and red color scheme. So beat this. We're given some fun text that actually depicts the roar of Godzilla. See it? Yeah, ever since I first got this deep voice, my Zilla impressions have been terrible. Deal with it. Yeah, so this section over here, right? It just highlights and emphasizes and it just highlights the cool factor that is this crossover. The whole, why it had to happen, because even back in the day, Godzilla was pretty popular to the point where apparently Marvel Comics wanted a whole, crossover. And probably not even just, not even Marvel Comics, but Toho, Toho Studios, I'm sure they were pretty eager to make this crossover work, right?
Oh, God!
And yeah, this section right here is basically explaining how memorable, monumentous, and just how just awesome this crossover is, really. That's all there is.
So, not gonna lie, I gotta highlight this moment. I gotta give this battle more attention. You feel me? One of the most entertaining, my personal favorite fight in this whole saga, fight between Godzilla and Devil Dinosaur, right? And experiencing this fight is like experiencing a video game match between a button masher and an experienced video game veteran. One has fiery potential to be reckoned with. The other has talent and a long resume of, just giving out L's. Truly a sight to behold. Truly something to experience. It is great.
Oh, granted, before this omnibus, I had random issues of the Godzilla, the Marvel years of Godzilla. I had random issues prior. They obviously were out of order. I'd be missing certain issues. I'd hop from one issue to an entirely different issue that took place 5 issues later. And I'd be just mad confused. And the reason why that happened was because I would just randomly find these issues at a comic shop. But if I tried to hunt them down online and it was in great condition, yeah, again, it would cost sometimes $200. And again, that's a no bueno. That's why it's just,
You said
this is gonna really crush you, comic book purist, you bougie type. But that's why sometimes it's just better just to get the reprint or the omnibus. It's gonna be, I trust and guarantee it's gonna be a way better investment, way more practical in terms of your budget. And because I was able to obviously afford the omnibus, see, this is why reprints and the omnibuy are so important. I was able to discover that, the champions, that Marvel team, the champions that, Hercules, Black Widow, Iceman, they, of all characters, had an encounter with the G-Man. And as soon as it was like I was 6 years old again, watching a Saturday morning cartoon crossover. That was just such a welcome surprise. This is why omnibuy and reprints are just so important, because I never would have ever had that experience just waiting for like one specific older issue to like drop down in price. Like I never would have had that same experience. So bravo on omnibuy and reprints. Again, I'm team reprint here. Not just normie dinos, but the Devil Dinosaur himself. That's right. A version of the character from that awesome show, you know, Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, fought the King of the Monsters. That story just writes itself. And the Omnibus is the most practical way to experience this. Again, if you're trying to, these days, if you're trying to like locate this exact issue that I'm describing right now, you're probably going to be, just be ready to fork up at least 100 for that issue, and that's me sugarcoating it and being nice. For max 200. Again, I'm just guessing, but that's such a classic issue. You're going to be forking up some money for that. You're going to be forking up some grip. So there you have it. Your guy just broke down all the ways in which, basically explained why buying an omnibus isn't really just, it's not merely just a intelligent move. It's really a meaningful way to basically experience a comic book saga, you know? So, I don't know. What else are you waiting for? Pick up this omnibus while you can. It's probably still running for maybe $100 new, but again, you know, for all the reasons I just stated, that's actually saving you a lot of money if you're actually, as opposed to other methods of experiencing this book. Like, share, and subscribe. And as always, stay tuned for later videos. I got, you know, more video ideas in the works, so, you know, stay tuned. Stay productive, stay kind, and be awesome.